afternoon, everybody, and what a time you have picked to join us here at Franklin's Gardens. The sun is just about shining, lightning's red roses are in full bloom, and for one day only, the circus are in town. Having scrummed Saracens into dust last weekend, Gloucester Hartpury have returned to the summit of the PWR. Points perfect. Queen's Home's finest are now 4 wins away from etching their names yet deeper into league legend. As their hall swells, though, so does the target on their backs, and this place's Tyros are no strangers to a giant sleigh. It was at this exact point last season that Loughborough stunned Sarries, a bit of a coming-of-age performance for a talented, gutsy group, and by all accounts, sticking 40 on Quins here a week ago reminded them just how fun it is taking names. After February, they would love to forget they have got their mojo back, their mojo, and handily, their superstars. Because for just the second time this season, World Cup winners Lily Ives Campion, Sadia Caba and Helena Rowland will run out for Nathan Smith's side. The other time was last Friday, a performance which the head coach reckons would have threatened anyone in the competition. They're in John Mitchell's Six Nations squad, as are Daisy Hibbert-Jones, Bo Westcombe-Evans, and to precisely no one's surprise, the uncapped Arla Latui. Carmela Morale, fresh from signing a contract extension, pairs Alev Kelter for the 13th time this campaign. 3 changes here from the side who conquered the Stonex. Up front, Rani Samuda gets the nod at loosehead, and England under-20s captain Steph Else is rotated in at lock. Emma Singh took a head knock in North London, so in comes Lizzie Goulden, the solicitor who runs away with the circus each weekend. What a week it's been for Alex Matthews. A hat-trick as player of the match on Sunday, named Red Roses vice-captain on Friday. And now feels the perfect time to say an enormous congratulations to Zoe Stratford, who is taking a little break from skippering both club and country to become a mum. Zoe, Luke, we are all absolutely thrilled for you. Rugby tots, look out. Well, this lot haven't lost in 16 months, and after a historic double over North London's finest last weekend, they've spent most of their week just freshening up, and Flats, it feels like they've earned that. And when you're cooking like Gloucester Hartpury, is sometimes a rest as good as a hard session?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The art of managing a group of athletes is knowing how hard to push them and when, and how hard to take your foot off the gas. And I often think that the relaxing bit, those relaxing weeks, those light weeks, feet up, more than sort of doing the hard work and smashing your body to bits, they're great for in terms of mental recovery. It's more mental than it is physical, I often think, because these ladies can just go and go, really. But actually what it does is there's a bit of responsibility that goes with that. So yes, we'll give you these weeks as long as you repeatedly deliver when it comes to game day. If you don't, you might not be feet up so often.
And our hosts, 6 of them named by John Mitchell this week, young, hungry personalities at the very heart of this African Violet programme. They're due a scalp, Isla Curfew reckons, so too does Nathan Smith. Victories over the likes of Bristol and Harlequins, those are par for the course now for Loughborough Lightning, and they very much have the champions squarely in their crosshairs. Sadia Caba, player of the match in a World Cup final, no stranger to a big stage. One of the standards drivers here.
About 30 seconds, okay?
It's been a bit of a roller coaster for Lily Ives Campion and co. Their best start in 6 years left them firmly in contention before the shiny prospect of a semi-final proved a little bit of a distraction by all accounts, and they slid from 5th down to 8th. That win over Quins has them back in 7th, but points don't come any harder than the ones on offer this afternoon to come by. Henry Pearson is our referee, Rebecca Piddleston and Greg Dawson his assistants, and Nikki O'Donnell has all the angles. The champions in sherry and white and tantalisingly close to an undefeated league season now.
Okay, time up, please.
And Lightning in Africa Violet, and with the licence to swing the bat hard. Fakey George will find Bulo Matai Tonga in the Lightning backfield. Lismore growing with each and every game back in the 15s format. In into the pocket. On now to Roll, and there's the half charge down for Georgia Brock. Such a terrier. Her work rates, her involvements, there's always about 3 of her on the pitch, it feels. And now they can go wide, edge to edge, playing Lightning at their own game, and few people taking edge better than Mia Vena, my words! On a pitch sprinkled liberally with lithe predators, it is first blood to Mia Vena. What a start from the circus!
Beautifully finished by Gloucester Hartpury. The opportunity came about from some aggressive, what would you call it, charging down of Helena Rowland, but the drill was slow, the pass wasn't great, the drill was slow. Well, it wasn't that slow, but she wasn't sufficiently deep. And you just felt like if you're going to give Gloucester Hartpury an opportunity that early, where don't you want to do it? And actually, I thought the ball left to right, Lizzie Goulden to Tatiana Hurd was really the ball. You felt like if Loughborough Lightning were going to cut off that counter-attack from the charge down, that was the pass
20 now.
From the 12 channel effectively to the 13 channel that had to be shut down, and it wasn't. Lovely finish, but it was that pass.
Low and end over end, and not quite on the money from Claykie George. No Emma Singh this week after that head knock in North London, but still 5 points in 90 seconds flats. Not a bad beginning.
It's this pass here.
There you go.
Just gets them outside, round the corner on the Lightning defence. And Mia Vena does brilliantly, skinning down the right-hand flank. That's her job. They've got to get the ball to her in space first. They managed it. Rough start for the Lightning.
Second most defenders beaten in the PWR this season for Mia Vena. Capped against Italy in the Six Nations last year, just missing out on that World Cup squad. In fact, the final individual to not make the plane, if you can get a plane from Pennyhill to Twickenham. Turnover Lightning. We'll get to see our hosts ball in hand for the first time.
Not exposed to me.
Out of kilter over the ball. No great surprise.
9 offside.
You give her a shot, she's going to take it. That knee's heavily strapped up, isn't it? Bionic leg.
Left in Northampton.
Greg, just say something on comms, please.
It's all very well playing expansive rugby, and Gloucester Hartpury are keen to move the ball, but if you leave yourself isolated at any breakdown, but it happens more often at these, when you're moving the ball, these wider breakdowns, I'm afraid you leave yourself vulnerable. And she'll have it. She's hungry.
They like a turnover.
Sorry, guys, my comms have just gone down.
Do Loughborough Lightning. And Dan Murphy actually spoke to us pre-match about how it is that they've been practicing this week at the Rock, Gloucester, whilst keeping time off feet, whilst letting bodies recover, because there are so many poachers across this Lightning outfit. Helped in no small way by the fact that they've got so many 7 stars in their team, who, as we know, go at the breakdown like nothing else.
Comms just dropped out.
I quite like the idea of a rugby match where the referee's comms drop out. They can just ref like they used to. See what happens. It's easy when it's not your job on the line, though.
Pearson's back mic'd up. And Hibbert Jones has brought that safely down on Catherine Tredder's throw. Lightning to within 5. They love them all try this lot. 7 for the campaign and counting.
Okay, 1 stationary.
Can hear Mo Hunt screaming at the forwards, but Carmela Morales arrived at pace there. Just short, needs to reload quickly. Numbers out wide, but they're going to keep this tight for the moment. Lightning, so efficient in this part of the field, so rarely leave these areas without points. Big, meaty shove, terrific turtle drill.
I mean, actually, there are a couple of ways to look at that. It's good, you know, intelligent passive defence on the line from Gloucester Hartpury, getting underneath that ball.
Thank you. Held up, goal line dropout.
But that's naive pick and go for me, really. You've got to be lower than that. OK, she's not high, but you've got to be lower than that. You've got to be low enough that they can't just get underneath you that easily. You've got to be aiming at ankles, not kneecaps, really. Too easily defended.
Rowland, ball in 2 hands. Best player in the world, if you believe Nathan Smith. But Alex Matthews might have something to say about that, and that shot,
Don't play her. Thank you.
coming in from Sam Monaghan, was brutal. Morale ink drying on that contract extension for the young 50 capper.
Tackle!
Rachel Ericke's carry, the US Eagle. Here's the Red Rose and a future Red Rose and another Eagle. Such an impressive team sheet these days and such an impressive carry from Caba. Her defensive work has always been there, but it's the ball in hand stuff now that's really sparkling flat at best from Morale. Mia Vena forcing the knock on with that tackle.
Really good D from Mia Vena. We saw her finish ball in hand, minute 1. There wasn't much of a decision to make there because she really, it was 2-on-2, she was 1-on-1 ultimately. This was a lovely little combination in midfield. Actually, Alev Kelton was on a lovely line. She did really well to give that ball so early because I think she was contemplating an outside break herself but saw a better option. You can see here there's not enough deception in the end from Loughborough Lightning, which, in inverted commas, makes that an easy hit, but you still got to make the hit. There was no one drawing her anywhere else, Vena, but it's a great shot, forced the knock on. And now Loughborough have got to take on this Gloucester scrum.
Crouch!
And Maud Muir, who I promise I'm going to remain neutral about, despite being a bit of a mega fan.
You lasted 6 minutes, Flats.
Yeah.
Samuda, Jones and Muir. Solid platform for that first scrum, not to be a ridiculous 46th penalty for the season. Oh, Golden's knocked that one on.
She's knocked it on, but Leku George's pass was a lovely looking pass, but it almost, she gave it so quick. I think she gave it a millisecond earlier than anyone expected. And yes, it was a pass to run onto, but actually Lizzie Goulden was fading on an overs line, sort of an in-to-out line, trying to hit that 5-metre channel and put Loughborough Lightning's last defender under pressure, so the ball needed a bit more on it.
Were you happy with us in the scrum?
Yeah, fine. Both sides just give a bit more space.
No worries, okay. I just felt like, just keep an eye on the angle. Thank you, thank you.
You've got to have a bit more space, both teams, all right?
Cool, okay, thank you.
Kelsey Jones is sucking up to the ref. Are you happy with everything? Everything all right? Yeah, thank you, great. And a little hint that maybe someone's working an angle in there, which they might have been. But that is, you know, it's good. It's lobbying.
She gave him an apple earlier.
Yeah, relationship building. A bit, you know, a bit obsequious, potentially, but politicking with a small p. I quite like it.
Let's go, team!
I asked Dan Murphy about Kelsey Jones in the week because she's got such prop stars on either side of her that she often goes unheralded in that front row for Gloucester Hartpury. And he says that actually she's one of the brains behind the operation. She leads what they call Scrum School in the week. She goes away, she does all the analysis. She's a complete, to use Ruby Tui's new favourite word, a complete nose in this department. And often Dan Murphy will send down a message from the stands where he's watching on, only to have the message bounce back at him and go, yeah, we know, Kelsey's already told us.
Bind!
Oh, sir.
So we've all got...
Everyone's a bit close.
Are we all good? We've all got to go left of the mark, and we've all got to be balanced, OK? Let's go, same mark. Quick reset, let's go, come on. Both are at fault. We can't stand up and we can't just go head on head. Let's go, come on.
I like this shivvying of things along. Not enough refs do this. In the men's game, Luke Pearce is the best. I'm enjoying this happening here. Shivvy it along. There is no need for it to take an hour and a half to form up a scrum. There's no need. It's not as complicated as people like me would have you make, have you believe.
Bind! Set!
Anne Young, Catherine Tredder and Christine Belisle. But this is Liz Maud, and there's options out wide here for Lightning if they can only beat Mia Vena, which is much easier said than done. They've drawn the error, the champions, but what a pickup and what strength from Bo Westcombe-Evans, back in an England squad for the first time in a year and a half. Maud Rowland, Belisle out the back, long pass from Morale. Oh, and Daisy Hibbert-Jones has gone coast to coast there. The work rate from the captain formidable, but pair of passes just letting Lightning down.
And in the end, it's Alev Kelter's pass. I think she's got that ball and passed it to where she thought somebody was, not where they actually were.
Inside.
So in the end, Daisy Hibbert-Jones, I think it was, that final attacker, she wasn't hugging the touchline. She'd come in a bit closer to her support. Alev Kelter just needed a little glance then before she threw that.
so swift to extricate herself and make the tackle there was Eriki.
Okay, yes, 9.
West Country Caterpillar for yesterday's birthday girl, Natasha Hunt.
38, wasn't she yesterday?
You're mean.
Just go with it. 39 she was yesterday. Well done, Mo. Happy 40th.
She has achieved so much, as you can see there, that actually most people would take 40 years to get that done.
Okay, who's in?
Chuck in a couple of Olympics. The fact they've had a cup named after her. There's now a Mo Hunt Cup contested in Gloucestershire once a year.
Got a coffee shop. What more do you want?
Looked wicked at Cheltenham Festival.
Fancies off forward.
Here we go, Rachel Lynn. Hoovering up crumbs. And for a team that feasts on territory week in, week out, Gloucester Hartpury haven't had much of it in recent times. Vena with Golden on her shoulder. She's a marked woman today. They're getting hands on Mia Vena as quickly as they can, and after being burnt early doors, you can't blame them.
Vantage, playing on the floor.
Our first penalty of the fixture, but George has opted to kick it away.
You're on the floor, you're out of the game.
Well, there's a penalty advantage, and shape was lost a little bit, so it's all very well to have a free shot, but if everyone's kind of scrambled around and a bit of a mishmash, you're almost better off taking the pen, to be honest.
Touch missed.
Keep retreating.
Don't see many of those errors off George's boots. Hunt.
Keep retreating. 50-22 is
to
on.
the same part of Franklin's Gardens turf, and that is a lovely nudge.
Well, it was a poor kick from Bulu Matai Tonga straight into the arms of Mo Hunt.
Not now.
Gloucester Hartpury find themselves in a great spot, but really you can't be kicking that loose. One loose kick and look where they are. The charge down in the first minute. Look what happened then. Kicking the ball's fine, but you've got to be accurate. That's fabulous, isn't it, that?
No contest. Maul.
A second visit, ball in hand, for an outfit looking for a 14th straight away victory. They love their travels, do the circus, and here's Jones carrying hard. Options right and left, but they pick out Lewis, and then the quick hands from Muir, the wraparound, blocks carry, ricochets off an African Violet defender. Hunt onto Monaghan, who's having a towering season in cherry and white. Hunt once more. Big old leg drive there from Matthews. Brock wants it. Line speed from Rowlands just quelled that one. But they're to within 4. Now deadly from this range. Hurd pops it over the top. Vena with one to beat, gets the offload onto Lizzie Golden. And you will not find a more popular score in all of Northampton. The Circus's beloved Kiwi is on the score sheets.
There is a lovely offload back inside from Mia Vena, who's had a lovely first quarter of an hour or so of this game. Both sides of the ball looking great. But the pass, this left to right pass from Tatiana Hurd is a weapon, isn't it? You'd just love to play outside that as a right winger. It's good defence, actually. Did really, really well to get that away, Vena. That's a touch of class. That pass over the top. She's thrown it 4 or 5 times already. It's a lovely pass. Very accurate, very comfortable throwing those long ones. Very difficult to defend.
Try's good.
It's a real tester for the Welsh wizard. That is George, but she has hit that beautifully.
Hell of a kick, that. It's nicely done, wasn't it? Tatiana Hurd could have steamed onto that on a short line, but she knew that the Lightning defence had narrowed up. People were stepping in. She knew they were out of shape, so she held back and threw the pass instead. Lovely attack.
Her favourite thing, Tatiana Hurd. is putting others, well, actually, it's reading and crocheting, but probably third on the list is putting others in space. That's what she gets most satisfaction out of,
Yeah,
and that's an exquisite example of it. But they're not looking after the ball on the deck, the champions today, not as well as we're used to seeing. So Caba has lifted that one up and away, and now there's a 3-on-1. Oh, Rachel Lund could be in trouble here. Matai Tonga in the wide.
Okay, Nikki, just check that, please. I'm playing advanced for delivery.
This is Lightning's DNA. This is what they're about. Setting a light in transition. Only they've fluffed their lines and will return for the penalty.
Just want to see.
At the moment, because there's a player on the outside. Nikki,
Just checking now.
Just want to see if that might have been more than a penalty, because Lightning were cooking down the right then. They were in great shape.
Time is off. I'm at a penalty at a minimum at the moment.
Lily Ives Campion did really well to move through the tackle and get that ball away.
Yeah, we need to go. Let's go. Come on, Silver, get
Let's have a look.
Henry, stick with your on-field.
Happy with a penalty?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, penalty only, delivery knock on.
I reckon that's about right. We don't want to just see yellow cards handed out if we're not absolutely sure.
He's not failed to get dressed properly this morning, by the way, Henry Pearson, our referee. He's wearing odd socks, as are all the Loughborough players, because it is World Down Syndrome Day. Of course, very close to Loughborough Lightning Hearts, and it's great to see our officials getting involved too. Treader, 5 metres out, finding Eriki, her compatriot, World Cuppers together in England last August and September.
Okay, one stop.
More standing behind that big purple bulldozer, lovely line, inside out from Morale. There's the footwork. She is in such a purple patch right about now. Quite literally, Cabea's gone. That was the score. Referee awards it. And Loughborough's quite brilliant, number 7, is 7 up for the campaign.
Sadia Cabea absolutely certain she got that down. I wonder if Mo Hunt was a bit less certain. Wouldn't mind a look. I think she's asking for a look. I just wondered if Mo Hunt had got underneath that. We like the benefit of the doubt to the attacking team, but I haven't seen that grounded yet. Still haven't.
$20 seconds now.
I thought I did then.
Live, it looked like it might have got down. But you're sowing seeds of doubt here, Flats. Helen Rowland's not going to wait around to bang these over. Ooh, I reckon that took a flake of white paint off the uprights. It was so close to them, but Rowland 1 from 1 from the gap, thanks to Sadia Cabera's 5.
Henry,
I feel more confident having seen the third replay that she got it down. We're eyes open here. Do you know, I'm just not that I think that's tight. Benefit the doubt to the attacking team. I think that's the way we should be doing it. Of course, the Lightning players are celebrating. They would. You can't read too much into that. But it is what it is.
Inside.
I also like the idea of not scrutinising every single decision for half an hour. Crack on with it.
Amen. Lovely line there from George. He's well and truly wrong-footed moored, but there's the 7's fitness and prowess from the scrum half to work back, get the cover tackle. Golden in at first receiver.
Tackle now!
Takes 2 to stop Maud Muir. Often does, at least. Golden once more. Much too casual from the Lightning fullback.
Well, hard to deal with that for Matai Tonga. Awkward little kick. I don't think it came off the boot cleanly. And also, I think it was probably shorter than anybody wanted it to be. So actually a difficult one to get hold of that.
Lovely drills right to the tail there. This, something pre-rehearsed, you feel. Bermudez and Matai Tonga and Westcombe-Evans all out on that far touchline. So much danger in the space of just a few metres. Here comes Latui. First carry, first post-contact metres. 19 years old, Latui. This is her first season, remember, of senior league rugby. And she's headed for a Six Nations with the world #1s. Roland finding morale, and Westcombe-Evans has popped up on this side of the pitch.
Forward, advantage.
Hunt out the back door.
No advantage, forward.
Do you know, shame that for Loughborough in the end, because it was really, really nice attack. The line-out drill was perfect, wasn't it? Absolute double tops. Perfect ball for them to attack with. And as the ball did get moved wide, as it did get moved right to left, you just saw Alev Kelter, such a threat, catching the eye of those defenders, just sucking defenders in, drawing them in that 13 channel, and they were away, making ground. Great ambition, really good execution.
Crouch.
3 World Cups, 3 Olympic Games.
Bind.
Age grade honours in soccer and ice hockey. Soccer and ice hockey, soccer and ice hockey.
What is soccer?
Just.
Soccer's what everyone's doing for World Down Syndrome Day.
We all agreed we've got to be really balanced. We've got a pre-engage there, we had a pre-engage by the other side over there.
I haven't got...
I've got to be more disciplined, please. I'll just start free-kicking people.
I haven't done odd socks. My brother's got Down syndrome, so I should have done it, really. I'll ring him instead.
Let's go, come on, quick reset.
I'll ring him instead.
That's a lovely idea.
Crouch.
That is fascinating, because that's the complete opposite of how these two sides play. Gloucester Hartpury are all about maximum territory, and a little bit of waste falls by the wayside. Lightning don't have much of it, but they always score when they get there. Keeps you guessing, this league. Here's Kelter. On turnover ball, and found herself really well met by Mo Hunt.
Your own player trapping her in.
Latui flat onto the tight head, Belisle. Roland. Here's Anne Young. Named in Siona Fukafuka's Scotland squad this week. Morale. Caba. Matai Tonga. Kelter running hard and straight and true and bumping Lizzie Colton right out the way.
Lizzie Golden dropping the ball sort of inexplicably, but it happens, of course, to everyone at some point. Midfield putting themselves under all sorts of pressure. Alev Kelter, a real handful, but just a lack of control on the floor. I tell you, I think that's tough. I think that's tough. The ball spills out the back. I don't think there's a player in the world who doesn't go for that ball. It's just whether Mia Vena got herself completely onside to start with. That's a tight one for me, that. She's onside from where I can see. I don't know. I think she's done all right there.
Ives Campion this time. Caba's in, finding Kelter. Free hit here. And look at them scurry into position. Lightning know exactly how they want to flex this advantage. Roland, little dink through.
No clear release.
It's just discipline. Discipline can mean lots of different things on a rugby field. But you make a tackle, Kelter is tackled, you just got to release. If you're going to start counter-rucking and causing a mess, you've got to release first. You can't go from tackle straight into counter-ruck, straight into being an obstructive presence. You've got to show the referee daylight in between.
They've gone quickly, Lightning. Oh, that is cute. That is really wily from the Northampton outfit. Latui's next to get her hands on it, and suddenly they're beneath the sticks into within 5, and Caba is taking matters into her own fiendishly talented hands. Hibbert Jones. Bunchy's flapping, legs pumping. Kelter. As they fired from a cannon, it's the only way she knows. Maud stands back. This is all about the meat again, the muscle and the desire to get one on the three-peaters.
Just time off. Okay, Nikki coming to check. On-field decision is try. I just want to make sure she's not held before she reaches out and gets the ball.
That Sadia Caba carry was the one. That was the one. Gloucester had things, yes, they were defending their own goal line. They had things under control until that bit of explosive power was injected.
If it's not a try, she's offside anyway.
Perfect.
So it's Lily Ives Campion with a little help from Anne Young here.
You seen anything there?
No, but that might not matter because on-field was tried.
On-field's tried. We're not, there's seeing nothing there, nothing
Just checking
there.
for any other angles, Henry.
Yeah, no rush, Nicky.
Nothing there. I think we know where this is going, don't we?
Yeah,
Henry, we don't have anything clear and obvious on the camera angles for you.
Perfect, nothing
So
to
stick with
overturn.
your
Try,
on-field
good.
decision.
And just like that, Lily Ives Campion has gone and tied things up.
Thanks, mate.
Good ambition that, wasn't it, from Lightning? They just, with that carry coming in field, they just mean Gloucester have to hold blind. There's enough of a blind side.
I'll let you know as soon as she says it there.
They have to defend both sides, which spreads the defence somewhat. And then Sadia Caba comes in with a really aggressive carry into Georgia Brook. Almost over, but not quite. Gloucester Hartpury never really recovered from that.
20 seconds now.
Up go the flags, and Helena Rowland's all-time points tally for Loughborough Lightning hits 303. She is 2 points behind the great Emily Scarrett. A little subplot to this afternoon's round 15 clash. Isla Curfey, who's wearing number 17 on the Loughborough bench today, Flat, said something really interesting in the week. She said that they watched back the tape from their round 9 meeting with Gloucester Hartpury and they wish they'd afforded them a bit less respect. They let the titles, the three-peat, the state of that team sheet dictate their attitude towards things, and they decided to come in today with just a little bit less respect for their opponents. Have you ever experienced something like that?
Yeah, I think you can stand off a team because you think they're brilliant, and then you definitely lose. So it's different versions of respect. I don't know if it's more or less. It's different. Give them the respect of ripping into them because you know how good they are, and you know that standing off them almost donates them a victory. So it's working for them so far, hey? Lightning leads with 25 played. Vena is working her way coast to coast, but Matthews for now is looking to add some purple bruises to those purple shirts. Dalla Valle back in field to Vena. Steffels rotated into that engine room this afternoon alongside Sam Monaghan, who has it now. George has spotted acres of space. No such mistake from Matai Tonga. She's got Bermudez, and Golden's got to shoot up and slam that door. Does so really well. Rowland with Latui to call upon, whose stats in all of the marmalisation charts are right up there, just crunching on both sides of the ball. That from Morale is a beautiful seize. Westcombe-Evans, oh, was she tripped? Oh, I'd like to see that again.
Good ball, team.
I'd like to see that again. It's a lovely pass, that, from Morale over the top, wasn't it?
So good.
14 goes to the bin, pushed her in the back.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
Nikki just confirmed the right mark.
Yeah.
Just inside her own half, isn't it?
Hard to argue, isn't it?
Yellow card
Just checking now,
for
1
Mia
second.
Vena. So,
It's definitely a yellow. We're just checking where the mark is for you, okay?
for 10 minutes, Loughborough have the player advantage. And maybe what's the worst thing about
Definitely a
that
pen. We're just checking where the mark is, inside, outside.
is we
Yeah, so
didn't
it's
get
where the ball bounced
the foot
on
race
the
that we've all
touchline,
been
just
waiting
inside
for.
the
We
10,
didn't get
so
to
you're
see
already
Westcombe-Evans
starting on the
and
15.
Vena in full flight
The
down that
ball landed
touchline.
outside the field of play, so it's a penalty on the 15. Push off the ball.
Oh, I'll take it all.
Well, let's hear from the Loughborough camp in just a moment, in fact. We'll let Helena Rowland
On the 15.
take this penalty, and then we will go and hear from our very own Jenny Drummond, who's been a busy bee and located Rachel Taylor. Wales in coaching great, and in an African violet tracksuit this afternoon. Jenny, all yours.
Thanks very much, Claire. Yes, I'm up in the bleachers here. Rachel Taylor alongside me, and Skaz. We'll get to her second. She's been filling me in on what her sweetie order is today. But look, Rachel, 2 tries apiece and all the momentum here at the moment. What are you making of this first 25 minutes or so?
Yeah, 100%. Again, certainly not the start we wanted, having to concede that try pretty much straight from the off. But I think we managed to create a few opportunities. We've left a couple out there pretty early on, but then to try and get 2 scores and get ourselves back in this game has been excellent. And I think we're just in that moment now of a definite momentum shift in terms of some of the penalties going in our favour. And obviously Gloucester just receiving a yellow card, so pretty key that we try and capitalise on this while we can.
Yeah, you've had, well, a few minutes ago you had 70% of the territory. What's the game plan then against Gloucester Hartpury?
Yeah, I think, you know, most teams that will know our identity. Like we want to keep the ball in hand, keep the ball on the pitch. So for us, it's just making sure that we can try and push them a little bit edge to edge in our processes of doing that. But also, like, we've had some really good positives from being direct so far this season. So making sure that if our forwards are turning up on the gain line, making sure that they're a threat as well. So just trying to find the sweet spot in between both of those.
Talking of sweeties, Skaz, what's on the menu today?
I'm on a diet, Jenny, so I've gone for a chewing gum.
How boring. On that note, let's get back to the rugby.
Jenny Drummond asking all the questions we really want answered there. Snaz's, oh my goodness me, Skaz's snack watch. Try saying that with a mouthful of Haribo. Our favourite regular fixture here on the PWR coverage. But in the midst of all of that, outstanding turnover work from the 3 Peters. Matai Tonga accelerating hard into Georgia Brock. Morale, triple threat. Oh, she's done well there. So too is Golden, trading skills, and look at the footwork from the little fullback. Big hit on Rachel Lund there from Kelter. She's taken a knock to the head as she's gone down.
Sorry, in touch first.
So much to unpack in that passage of play.
Okay, we'll start off. Line up. Loughborough.
All the skills from Golden.
Oh, that's tight, isn't it? Beautiful work down the left from Lizzie Golden.
Just ask me a question. If I'm not
Like
answering,
that.
I apologise. Right? No.
Great shot from
I don't
Kelter.
want to break down when it's out though, but ask me the question.
Didn't like getting stepped first time, did she?
Fine. Yes, mate. Yeah, just remind me next time, please, mate. Pretty clear from my side.
Henry, there's no foul play on that Gloucester player. She hits her head on the floor,
Yeah,
post
thanks,
tackle.
Nikki. Okay, let's go, please. Your line out.
Rachel Lund,
Okay, time come, please.
one of the most regular fixtures of the circus over the last couple of seasons. She's all right, which is great to see. So Treader
Contest.
might not quite have been the plan at that line out, but the ball is away. Morale onto Rowland at second receiver this time, and Kelter doing her very best pinball impression in the midfield. She was on roller skates there. Bermudez.
Hold that, 14.
Morale's kick, just playing the territory game.
It was just a cut your losses kick, really, wasn't it? From Morale. in truth, because Loughborough Lightning's passing wasn't quite accurate enough. There wasn't quite sufficient depth to do what they wanted with it, so they ended up making it all too easy for Gloucester Hartpury to defend. That's a get-out kick, really. Interesting to see if they pressure this line out or effectively hand over possession to Gloucester Hartpury.
They've adjusted to 5, so I'll let you adjust. Happy with 5? OK, here we come then if you're in.
Well, they'd be wise to put someone up, because the Gloucester Hartpury line-out has been one of the few blemishes on their record recently. It's been getting worse round by round since Christmas, down to 79% now, but nothing.
And you can see that throw was a mile off straight, but it doesn't matter, because if no one gets up defensively, you can throw it effectively where you like. If Loughborough had just put a pod up then, they would now have possession. They would have turned it over. Never know why teams stay on the deck so regularly, especially this far out from your line.
Monaghan getting a real change from that effort. She's managed to try against each of last season's semi-finalists, pulling up trees, the Irish woman. Immaculate spiral, courtesy of George. And Westcombe-Evans loves these sorts of opportunities. Beats one, but very few beat at herds.
Still in, still in.
Even so, made the best of a wicked kick from George.
Keep going, two, keep going.
Teenage sensation, Tui.
Okay, he's coming back, hold in front, hold.
Slightly awkward kick from Rowland. Doesn't find touch, so Lund on the counter. You could see Morale and Caba getting low.
Yeah. Like Christmas Day, that, wasn't it? I knew exactly what was coming.
Flats' favourite, Muir with a little juggle. Grunt work from Monaghan once more.
Carrying well, Monaghan.
Rowland.
Yes, a couple of times I've wondered if Gloucester Hartpury had kicked a bit earlier than they needed to, handing over possession when the shape looked decent.
Numbers here for Lightning.
It's a deliberate for me, it's a penalty only though.
Oh, and it's another knock on through traffic from Gloucester Hartpury. Defending with 14, remember, not that you'd know it. As we've just heard Rachel Taylor say, Lightning need to strike. The iron is hot, they've got the player advantage, and you don't get many opportunities against the side you haven't lost in 16 months now.
It isn't good enough in that instant. I think
there's multiple players on the outside, but it is deliberate by 15.
It looks to me like I do think twice in a row. I think one Flaky George and one Mo Hunt, they kicked earlier than they needed to, and actually gave Possession to Loughborough Lightning when
got a penalty on field.
They didn't need to.
We're looking at potential higher sanction than that, whether there's an overlap.
We'll have a little look. Loughborough Lightning are making way more ground down the left than they are down the right. The passing action looks more accurate right to left than it does left to right. They don't look as dangerous down the right. So when the ball went left there's high danger. The ball came right, less so, and then it had just gone out the back. Easy to say after the event.
There's an overlap opportunity, so I have a decision, please.
Yeah, easy shout.
Gloucester 15 has deliberately slapped the ball down. There's a clear overlap. It's a yellow card.
The table toppers are down to 13 players here at Franklin's Gardens.
It will be.
Their fourth and fifth yellow cards of the season.
Not again. On the 10 metre.
And you give away yellow cards invariably because you're under pressure. And when Loughborough Lightning are given possession, and when Gloucester Hartpury are giving them possession when they don't need to, through kicks that don't need to be kicked because they do have other options on their hands, they're actually... Loughborough Lightning are attacking really, really nicely through the hands, really ambitious. Decoy runners are actually decoy runners. They look like they might get the ball. So they're attacking really nicely, but Gloucester Hartpury are giving away possession and then not transitioning from attack to defence quick enough. So they're actually causing themselves problems.
This, a golden opportunity for Lightning, a Lightning side who've never won here against Gloucester Hartpury. Morale very well escorted to Midlands turf by Hurd and by George. Rowland. Westcombe-Evans sets off. She's got the edge on Lund in terms of speed, but Hunt is there in support. Oh, and that's not got anything like the distance she will have wanted.
No, it's a bit of a ropey kick, but she's well positioned and it's safe, it's in touch, and there are a couple of players down, so it's 30 seconds wasted. And Mo has just deliberately knocked the ball just on the floor, just a couple of extra seconds. Just stopped Catherine Treader getting hold of it before the line out. All counts.
No contest!
Lightning's looking sharp at the line out today. They've tightened some screws there, no doubt about it. Lutui hoping to shorten an already shortened defensive line. Rowland on now to Ives. Campion having a lovely little gallop, but the pass is 5 minutes.
And that really lovely work on the outside from Ives Campion, but actually it's a pass to where she wishes somebody was. And that's a nice idea for someone to run onto, but actually it's way off. It just needs an extra glance.
What's the delay here?
Really good work from the second row. But, of course, the second row is less used than most other players to being in that sort of space, so your heart rate can surge a little bit. What it needed was just...
You're not wasting anyone's time. We've got to be quicker, please.
Slightly more chilled approach. Have a look where the bodies are, where the jerseys are. Gloucester Hartpury are trying to do a bit of time wasting. Can't blame them.
More.
Messy, stodgy stuff.
Inside.
George.
Nice kick, that. Got hold of that, didn't she? Gloucester again, take up a few seconds, get themselves out of trouble. And the pressure, actually, there is a point during these periods when your player's down where the pressure switches to the attacking team, who should be scoring by now, in theory.
Seconds remaining on Vena's yellow card, and Lightning need to start making this advantage count.
Yes, the right call. Sam Monaghan got up nicely then, put a bit of pressure on the Lightning drill, but actually got a hand in and tugged the arm. You can see here the inside arm there, grabbing an arm. Can't do that. Well reffed.
Classy kick from Helena Rowland. Plenty of distance found there. Vena is back with us, so not a point to be found during the time the champions were down to 13. So Vena will stalk back round to join that defensive line, and that is something you don't see very often. Gloucester Hartpury, the teacher's pets in this competition. Fewer penalties than anybody else. Caba, distributor. Kelter, destroyer. Muir in on defensive detail. Swiftly back to her feet. It's another penalty, but this one goes the way of the circus, and they might just have survived.
Very, very good turnover work. I think it was Steph Else in there. Because Loughborough Lightning were carrying hard, weren't they? Passing was accurate. The lines were aggressive. Gloucester Hartpury were under pressure. Not a brilliant clearance kick, that, when you compare it with the last one Flaky George put in. But they'll get another shot. Again, just keep your eyes on the line out. Loughborough Light. Great throw.
Matthews oozing class and threat, arriving at such pace there. George will leather this. Bermudez, silver medals in Olympic Games and a World Cup now in that sock draw. Caba shoving her onwards. Maud Rowland, Westcombe-Evans player of the match here 8 days ago against Quins. Kelter doing Kelter things in the wide channels. Lightning supporters will be so desperate for one of these yellow cards to bleed something from the champions. Haven't yet made it count. Matai Tonga, Belial, Westcombe-Evans beating Hunt, looking to free the hands, looking to go all by herself. Loughborough Lightning might just fancy themselves giant slayers today. They grow their lead, they make the yellow card count, and Westcombe-Evans is inching closer and closer to the top of the try-scoring charts.
What a finish, what a bit of power running from Westcombe-Evans. It was actually this ball out the back that really counted. So often those balls out the back are telegraphed. You can stick them on a postcard, but that drew a defender.
We will restart.
Just put it out the back, and as soon as that happens, you find defences narrowing up. And actually, Gloucester Hartpury, player down or not, they're at 6s and 7s there defensively, miles off. And Westcombe-Evans is a powerful runner. She needs hitting hard. You've got to hit and stick with someone with that power and that pace. They don't realistically get anywhere near that Gloucester Hartpury. Loughborough Lightning comfortably the better side in this first half, comfortably.
Helena Rowland ties Emily Scarrett at the top of the all-time points in a Loughborough jersey. But Westcombe-Evans, one of the stories of recent times here at Franklin's Gardens, 14 months out with the ACL injury she suffered just weeks after her England debut. She's played within herself so far this season, Nathan Smith has said, but Friday night against Quinn, she came back to life. And it will be very hard for John Mitchell not to put a rose back on that chest this Six Nations. Clock's gone red, and you wonder if, before the watchful eyes of Emily Scarrett, Rachel Taylor, Nathan Smith, if Gloucester Hartpury might look to just get this thing off the field. Exactly that. Well, look at what we have here. Look at the smiles. They tell you everything you need to know, because Helena Rowland and Daisy Hibbert-Jones have led Loughborough Lightning to a 9-point lead over the Three Peters. The circus are in town, but this so far has been all about our hosts in African Violet. Tries for Sadia Caba, for Lily Ives Campion, for Westcombe-Evans. Responses from Vena and from Golden, but discipline costing Gloucester Hartpury. Don't go anywhere. We'll have all the halftime analysis with Ruby Tui and with Sarah Elgin, and then a 40 minutes that you are not going to want to miss.
That's fine. Yeah.
How about this now? Just carry.
Lily wasn't paying 10 on the campaign. That's been that three. Three with like 4 lines up in the team. It's gone into the side. They're back here.
Well, I'm delighted to say I'm joined by rugby royalty. I think I'm going to introduce you as Ruby Tui, World Cup winner. It is glorious to have you over all the way from the Southern Hemisphere from New Zealand.
The score is the second half is Loughborough 21, Gloucester Hartpury 12. Huge second half on its way, but you welcome back to the field, Gloucester Hartpury.
Welcome back to Franklin's Gardens, everybody, where we have Warriors in cherry and white and those in African violet spilling back out onto the pitch. Loughborough entirely unchanged, and why would they change a thing? They are leading by 9 points here, up against the Three Peters, an outfit who haven't made a couple of changes. There is one of them. Cecilia Tuipulotu is on at tight head in the place of Maud Muir, and Elle Perry is fit and firing, and it would give a bit of an air of mystique in the scrum cap and the numberless jersey, but she is back, the Ireland international. Played in finals for Gloucester Hartpury and for Saracens, experienced operators, and David Flatman, and powerhouses too.
Have you ever thought of like moonlighting for a paint company? Because you love this African violet chat.
Sorry,
it's purple, isn't it? No, well, it's purple, mate.
In these parts, if you say purple, you get a slap on the wrist, let me tell you that. But yes, I could work for a paint company. Well, here we go. We've had another change for Gloucester Hartpury as well. Ellie Green is on. Her first appearance of 2026. The former Harlequin, former England under-20. She's wearing number 22, and she's dropped into the backfield in the place of Lizzie Goulden. So... oh, here we go. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. It's the start of dreams for Loughborough Lightning. And a fancy splash from a fancy Bermudez. It's the bonus point try. Scored within all of 20 seconds.
Just a horrible fluffing of lines from the restart from Gloucester Hartpury. Just never get themselves quite in the right spot. You can see if you're jumping up and taking that on your hip, as Steph Else was, you've got it wrong, but you still got to take it. You're unopposed up there in the air. It's still up to Lightning to go and profit from it. Also, there needs to be a backup, a proper backup behind that lifting pod. Alex Matthews a bit too far promoted.
20 seconds now.
Just, it wasn't quite eyes on the ball stuff from Gloucester Hartpury to start the half, and they've been punished for it. Again, Ruby might be right. It might have gone off in the Gloucester Hartpury changing room, but whatever they have said hasn't worked. Not yet.
Helena Rowland is now Loughborough Lightning's all-time top point scorer. And Fancy Bermudez has a second score. And how critical might that score prove? Because the last time Gloucester Hartpury lost in this competition was November 2024. It was against Bristol Bears, and they trailed by 12 at the break. The gap is now more than that. It's going to be absolutely fascinating to see how they respond. Morale lofting that up and over and on to Westcombe-Evans. so powerful, the winger, and there is fight in our hosts right now.
She is powerful. She's moving really, really nicely, isn't she? Gets away from Mo Hunt and actually steps inside and beats Flaky George, and that's a bit flaky from Flaky. Needed to do better than that, really, but Tatiana Hurd came in and did the job, got her into touch. She's playing well, isn't she, Westcombe-Evans?
No contest.
Big shot from Hurd. George finding Dallavale. Here is Green. Vena scampering back in against the grain. Sadia Caba. She is irresistible.
It's just those wide breakdowns again. We saw Aleph Kelter nick one in almost exactly the same place in the first half. It's all very well moving the ball, but they're just not getting there quick enough. They're just not resourcing that aggressively enough. That's easy work for Sadia Caba, easy work.
Caba, who spoke really powerfully after the loss here, that narrow, agonising loss against Bristol Bears just a couple of rounds ago. She said that losing narrowly to a powerhouse like Bears last year, they would have been thrilled with that, but this year they expect more from themselves. This year, this Loughborough outfit want to start taking scalps. They've got one in their crosshairs now. Matai Tonga looks for the Hail Mary, and there's a bit of a foot race on here between Morale, who has gathered that quite beautifully, and what is going on at Franklin's Gardens? Loughborough Lightning's Tyros have 10 points within 4 minutes of the resumption of play, and the reigning champions are down on the canvas.
Carmela Morale does brilliantly, but it's Loughborough Lightning making their own luck. Actually, things go awry with Matai Tonga in midfield. Tatiana Hurd gets off the line, gets in Matai Tonga's eye line, and Matai Tonga throws an offload that was never on.
All clear.
Thanks, Vicky.
And it doesn't work. There it is. But actually, Gloucester Hartpury found themselves, by accident, completely out of shape.
20 seconds now.
Bit of lucky bouncing for Loughborough Lightning, but you still got to take it.
The radar's gone a little squiff for Helena Rowland. Those last two have drifted wide, but the gap now 19 points, and you can tell that the champions are rattled because they're making yet more changes. Sarah Beckett is on and roaring to the rest of her teammates, and so too Wales's newly named captain, Kate Williams.
Well, it is a horrible start to the second half for the current champions. And they've done themselves no favours, it has to be said.
So Dan Murphy has made all but 2 of his changes now. Just Lucy Simpson and Molly Bunker left on the bench for the visitors. The game's turned into absolute anarchy out there.
It has, and it's an offload that was forced, that didn't need to be thrown.
Vena looking to do to Loughborough what Loughborough had just done to Gloucester Hartpury, and that's 5 points back. That is 5 points and maybe some precious momentum clawed back by the pace setters.
Again, it's great opportunism from one of the sides, but it does come off ultimately an unforced error. Loughborough Lightning got a lovely buffer now. Matai Tonga, that's really nice. The first offload, but the second offload from Ives Campion to Kelter was wasn't worth it. It was never on, it was forced. And actually, it's kind of potentially the result of a team that really want to play, but a team that's a little bit too happy with themselves too early, frankly. That needed holding on to, and look at the result.
20 seconds now.
Goes both ways.
All clear.
Thanks, Vicky.
Flaky George, from as wide as they come, has pulled that round, just didn't quite have the ammo behind it, but we have had 15 points in 7 minutes. Someone's put 50p into this fixture. Buckle on up and welcome back to the circus, Ellie Green.
It's a lovely kick. It's a lovely kick. She's playing very well, isn't she? I know she got into trouble a bit in the first half. She was naughty once.
That head-to-head between Vena and Westcombe-Evans is simmering away quite beautifully.
Inside.
Golden's gather. George's composed. Mighty clearance.
And from Westcombe-Evans not making that tackle on Vena for the try, it's easy to say she should have gone lower, and she should have been aggressive and low, but actually you do feel like when it's that tight and someone's at full speed, at full chat, you feel if you take time to dive, you're going to lose them. Couldn't quite get to grips. It's a lovely kick through.
2 tries the difference. We've got 14 points here between the side down in 7th and the one right at the summit, Maud's. Always alert to opportunity.
She's on the ball.
Here she is once more, Kelter, popping it back in onto Morale, who is growing into this fixture. Another handling error, though. Scrum advantage for Mia, Vena and co.
It's a little bit of live by the sword, die by the sword here, isn't there? Chucking offloads that don't work.
Advantage over for the knock-on.
Brock looking to sell Morale, who 120's teammate once upon a time. Penalty advantage. Loughborough, who have really taken it hammer and tongs to the visitors at the breakdown today. Latui, who by her lofty standards has been a little quiet this afternoon.
What's forward?
I actually thought the ineffective offload from Matai Tonga was worth a go. I thought it was on, and she's very good at getting her arms through the contact and getting that away. It didn't quite come off, but then there's a handling error in midfield, and you think to yourself, well, yes, Gloucester Hartpury had a horror start to this second half. How do they get back into it? Well, how they're getting back into it at the moment is Loughborough Lightning dropping the ball. So they're effectively letting them back in. There wasn't that much pressure on the pass and the carry. It's just you wonder, this level of sport is so much about mental application, about concentration. If your concentration just dilutes a little bit because you're a load of points up, this can happen.
Terry and Tuipulotu on now in the hands of a sorceress from Hunt. Nice ones too from Green. Vena with the delicate nudge through. Morale is doing so much work on both sides.
Use, please.
It's a really tricky exit now. The heads of Loughborough Lightning. Golden back on, of course. This is 15 playing 15, and we've got a 30-minute home stretch, which will feel like an eternity for Lightning, although that from Rowland gets the job done.
It gets it done, but Gloucester Hartpury would regard this as a strike position if you practice this on a Wednesday.
9 and 15.
It would be a strike move, a launch move, whatever you call it.
And with that home straight in mind, Nathan Smith brings on 2 of his most experienced operators. This a really interesting move. So Liz Maud is off. She's a firecracker. She's all appetite and tail up and mischief. There in 22 is Lightning's most capped player of all time, Meg Davey at scrum half, and Helen Nelson, former Scotland captain, jogging back into fullback. So that's experience. Those are game managers, but they're both backs and not big ones at that. And these are big women with the ball. Kelsey Jones has it at the back, and that maul has brought them 10 metres. Hurd gets the bend away. Hurd still going. Kelter says no thanks. No room at the inn for Tat Hurd on that occasion. Perry to within inches. Hunt looks right, looks left, sends it left. Beckett. Absolute powerhouse, juggernaut in the engine room. Tuipulotu skipped out, so many numbers, easiest finish you will see, and that Gloucester Hartpury at their destructive best.
Really, really nicely done from Gloucester Hartpury. It was power carry after power carry. And there are 2 aims with those carries, that close quarter stuff, picking and going or working off 9. The aims are to score, 1, and if you don't, force tacklers from the outside to step in towards the inside and hope that the recovering defenders getting off the floor don't make it around to the far side, so you end up with numbers, which was precisely the result. But it was good graft early on, good tight work. Of course, you you're watching Lightning defenders here. They have to step in. They have to stay engaged or it's try time. Mo Hunt knows exactly when to move it. Of course she does. And 3 or 4 of the ladies could have scored that, frankly. Narrowed that defence right up. And you think, well, yes, 5 minutes ago, Gloucester Hartpury had a hell of a hill to climb. Do you know what? It's getting smaller and smaller. And you think about the errors, the unforced errors that Loughborough Lightning have made to give, it's a great kick that, to give Gloucester Hartpury the field position from which they scored these points. And yes, Gloucester Hartpury have got to go and finish it, but they are, both sides have gifted the opposition points today.
Further changes in this game of muscular chess that we are witnessing between Dan Murphy and between Nathan Smith. Fresh props for the home side, Isla Curfy and May Sangopolo Sanele.
Okay, good to go.
They've also made a change in the engine room. Becky Boyd, Scotland's Becky Boyd, is on in place of Lily Ives Campion. Gloucester Hartpury, of course, that was their bonus point try, so they will not leave here empty-handed, whatever happens. Another spiral. Well taken by Nelson, and apologies to Lily Ives Campion. She's still with us, she's still hustling. Was surprised to hear that she had left the field, so it's Rachel Araki that's gone. Here is Boyd, former England under-20, but playing her test match rugby with a thistle on her chest these days. Davey finds another Scotland international in Nelson, who looks to dissect that backfield.
Take the line, please, Gloucester.
Switching the point of attack, a bullet pass from Davey over the top, and Hibbert Jones, how has she kept that in field? We've seen plenty of skillful moments today. That might be the creme de la creme. Sangapolu, Rowland, Lutui's very well met, Kelsey Jones. Fantastic defensive moment there.
Agreed.
Boyd.
Nothing wrong there, no advantage, just lost forward in the tackle.
Great bit of D that from Kelsey Jones, really, really good. Very, very strong. Actually, Sarah Beckett put a great shot in a couple of phases before. Really good work that, took the gamble.
Okay, go.
Yeah, Arla Latui has had a wonderful season, been quite quiet today, there's still time. Played against her dad, you know, and I played against him on a Friday night, Worcester Bath, and it was the day that, a couple of days in hospital beforehand because we were having a baby, my wife was having a baby, was very, very tired. They still made me play the game, obviously I wanted to, but got the baby home at 3:15, was on the club bus at 4, played in the game, and Alecki and Big Dave Tomopi, our tight head prop, they took it easy on me because I just had a baby. They'd heard the news, they said, easy night tonight, brother, and it was a gentleman's agreement. Alecki's my hero.
Really? That's a wonderful story.
I mean, when I got the ball, they hammered me, but at scrum time, they said, let's just hold it steady, mate. You've had a big day.
You've got a newborn at home. Nelson sends that back the way it came. Kelter has found Hibbert Jones, who spends so much time lurking in the wide channels, and I don't know who she thinks she is, Daisy Hibbert Jones, but that's a peach of a kick. Morale has just bashed Ellie Green backwards. There's the turnover, and Loughborough Lightning might be on the precipice of something really quite special here.
Well, they found a way to get themselves a bit of momentum back, haven't they? Daisy Hibbert Jones has had a standout hour so far, been really, really effective. Did really well to keep the ball in a few phases before, as you said, Claire.
If you're going to tap, give me the heads up.
And actually, that was a clever kick, well chased, and I thought Ellie Green might have done better. You just can't speculate. It's easy to say on a bobbling ball, I know that, but you've got to get down on it. You've got to. You can't be mucking around in that area of the field. Gloucester Hartpury are really thin. You can't just allow that to bounce past you. Bit too passive for me. Then gets hammered in the contact. Only one result.
Treasure. Oh, and what a time for the line out to come awry. It is feverish stuff down in that far corner. Lightning's bench are all on their feet. Gloucester Hartpury under as much pressure as they have been all season. Perhaps the only thing that's come close to this was that brilliant sprint finish from Trailfinders women. Pushed them so hard down the home straight. Westcombe-Evans gathers that one. It's under one bicep, and she's got Matthews before her. Tackle comes in from Matthews and from Vena. The replacements have brought so much fizz to proceedings. The tempo's gone up a notch. Davey onto Curfey. Rowland whips that out desperately. Morale has to take that mid-air split step. Caba's pirouettes. Lightning somehow don't knock the first one on, but do the second, so it will be a Gloucester Hartpury scrum.
Hold in front, advantage over.
Green doesn't find touch. Rowland with Nelson, playmakers everywhere you look in that back line. Apart from perhaps Bermudez, she is just an out-and-out finisher. Look at her get to work. Dalavale drags the Canadian down, the Olympian. Nelson onto Ives. Campion, lovely pop pass to Latui, who was starting to say her name a little bit more. Nelson finds the half gap. Davey. Rowland. Morale goes to that kick option once more. George looks up and sees Westcombe-Evans. Always has so much time on the ball. And that is a really nice nudge under pressure. Stars wherever you look on the field, and an absolute rocket down on the touchline for us. It gives me great joy to say we're going to get some insight from the one and only Ruby Tui.
Oh, what's up, Doc? We're just down here pitch side. Look, the socks are just full. Sending me if we can just see this guy's sock right here. I'm never ever going to forget that sight in my life. Mate, can I have a look at your sock? Just face the camera for that. Yeah.
Wow, they're
what's
amazing,
up, Doc? That's some effort. That's to celebrate World Down Syndrome Day. We're all about the love it here, but what is not full of love is this battle between the circus and the Lightning. Now, if you can't see it all the time at home, but the backfield, super important today. I think Lightning hasn't really done it as well as the kicking game from Gloucester, but look, I don't usually do this, but yesterday was Mohan's birthday, Aliv Carter's birthday. Happy birthday, breathers, we love you. This is the precipitation from the rain while the ball is played. You ready? Do you see that? Do you see how far it went? So every kick is going a little bit further. The spirals are absolutely giving the backfield a hard day. And that's because there's this light little precipitation on that grass field. Not a good day to be a winger.
Look at that. We've had a weather report from Ruby Tui. We've had a crep check. We've had a little bit of sliding. Always so good to hear from her. Hunt has done so well to evade the clutches of Sangapolu there. Midfield ball. Bonus point try secured for both of these sides, and a 7-point lead for Loughborough to attempt to not squander. Dalavale to work down those wide channels with Golden, with Green for company. Hunt plays the numbers, plays them well.
Nice kick that from Mo Hunt. Nicely done. And the last pressure line out Loughborough Lightning had. They fluffed their lines. Gloucester Hartpury got off the ground. It was good defence on their own line, but it was a low throw, so it didn't need to be great defence. Now would be a lovely time to nick another one from Lightning, just see how the intensity on the 22 matches their own try line from Gloucester Hartpury.
What a take from Ives Campion. Fingertip stuff from the Young World Cup winner. 20 minutes to play, 7 points the gap. Loughborough Lightning have never beaten Gloucester Hartpury at Franklin's Gardens, and Tao, it's gone. Slips the net. Finding George. Had to be tackled by Nelson there, but this might just be be the moment that we see things draw level. Just need to execute here, the champions. Monaghan with the carry. Here comes Kelsey Jones. Played 80 minutes last week at the StoneX Jones. She has been in totemic form. And to Tuipulotu now. Mornia is off the field. The front row replacements taking matters into their own hands. And it's Al Perry. Kick to come, but we might just be level in Northampton.
Really nicely done. I'm not entirely sure how Tuipulotu got that out of the contact, but I'm keen to see it. Again, Loughborough in possession, in a good space, but they're getting muddled. They go on top of each other in midfield. And while it's admirable to be playing out from there, they're just finding a way to lose this game. It's almost like they're trying to find a way. Of course, they're not trying to, but they are just trying things that aren't working. And there seems to be a refusal to exit their 22 with anything other than ball handling and movement and attacking threat, and it's not working for them. That lead now very likely to all be gone. And it hasn't taken long, has it, for it to unwind. Would love to see how Tuipulotu got that ball away in the contact. She was held up for all money. Interesting to see how Lightning respond now. He'll be much happier with that. Big Murph, but Lightning have got to do something now. They've got to pull something out the hat.
Well, they've missed Al Perry for the last few weeks, have the circus. We're all square. There's a horrible sense of deja vu to this for Loughborough, who let leads against Sale and against Bristol slip through their fingers in the second half. And a lovely sense of deja vu for Gloucester Hartpury, who so often in big games have gobbled up deficits. Here comes Ola Latui. She's just finally given us a proper glimpse of what she's all about, what John Mitchell has seen. But Hannah Delavallee flexes all of that worldly wise experience and has stripped it back for the champions.
Well, Delavallee did a great job. It was a brilliant carry, of course it was, from Latui. That's a weak tackle, must do better, not good enough. Bust through that as well she might, because frankly it was half a shot. Offloads the ball, and there's just no one there from Lightning. There's no one there.
Technical.
No one's on their motorbikes getting to that ground. Look at the number of cherry and white shirts surrounding it compared to, what are we calling it? Purple. African violet.
I've said it enough, you should know it by
African
now.
violet.
Well, no contest.
You've got to get off the ground. That drill was so sloppy. The throw was so low. If you got off the ground, you'd have had that. You've got to be mentally aware. You've got to be frenzied in those moments. Find a way to get off the floor. That's just an easy giveaway, that.
It's getting louder and louder here at Cinch Stadium, Franklin's Gardens. For 10 delirious minutes, those in that far east stand, they thought they might have the champions' number. Now they are willing, Bo Westcombe-Evans and Helen Nelson,
retreating from,
to do something, to conjure something. George puts that one out on the full.
What a game. 31-all. Pretty much all the momentum with Gloucester Hartpury. Not what we were saying at half-time, not what we were saying on 45 minutes. They look lost, they look rattled.
Glass houses, I think. You don't think? You don't think you were taking the save in the first?
That's lovely from Henry Pearson. Glass houses to a Gloucester Hartpury outfit complaining about time wasting.
Really enjoying his refereeing, actually. He's done really well so far.
So, a 9-point swing in this second half. Gloucester Hartpury bringing themselves back level. Replacements for both sides making their mark. And here's Meg Davey, who was tasked with bringing some management to proceedings. Seeing out that lead, that's evaporated. But what can they do in the final 20 minutes? They've drawn here already this season, if you remember, against Exeter and against Trailfinders. Surely we're not going to see another tied game featuring Loughborough Lightning. Big hits. That head-to-head has been delivering all day. Put another one in the Westcombe-Evans tally.
Well, it was a good take, mind you, from Vena. Both of them did their job very well.
One for each then. There's a lot of chalk on that blackboard. They have both been so involved. Hurd, Golden's on her shoulder. Staying down in the backfield for a moment is George Golden, looking to work it onto Dalla Valle, but instead rises the tackle. Jones now. Loughborough's discipline just coming a little bit unstuck at this point in time. Kate Williams, Wales the skipper for the Six Nations.
No advantage.
And a penalty
It's around here, and I think it's by 17.
for the side at the summit of the standings.
Late tackle.
Oh, the penalty for the late tackle. I wasn't so sure, actually. It will look late in slow-mo. It will look late in slow-mo. We know that.
It was 18, and it's just inside of the Gloucester 10.
May Sangapolu, I think at full speed,
18.
I'm not sure it looks late, to be honest. Marginal. Really good take from Vena. Good shot.
I think a marginal timing might be slightly different, but I take your point. Great turnover.
Well, Gloucester Hartpury's attack has finally sparked into life for the afternoon. So let's hear from their attack coach, shall we? Matt Banahan is with Jenny Drummond.
Thanks, Claire. Yes, it's perfect timing. I just came across the attack coach, indeed. Now, look, you were trailing 31-12, and you've pulled it back. How have you managed to do that?
We spoke about energy inside. It's no excuse, but we had a few tired bodies gone extra into Sarries into here, so bumps and bruises, trying to create some energy in the legs. And we spoke about just bringing a vibe, some volume to ourselves and talking into defence and attack, and it normally carries the person inside outside you. And obviously they scored straight after half-time, which wasn't the best thing for us, but since then they've obviously spoken to themselves about that energy and got ourselves right back into this game. And I spoke to Flats and Claire off-air earlier, and I was worried about this game because Loughborough are probably the most informed team in the league. They want to move the ball, and they've played that way. They've been full of confidence, but we're back into this game and there's still 13 minutes to go, and you can see we still want to try and move the ball. There's space. We have girls that want to play and give ourselves an opportunity to win this game still. Yeah, it's
Kind of uncharted territory, trailing that much in a match for you guys this season. So how do you not panic?
Luckily, we're 12 from 12, so not panicking is a part. We've got stuff in the bag. The home semi's done, but it's about making sure that the girls are fresh and still firing all shots. And it's tough coming off 2 physical weeks of Exeter and Sarries, and coming with a 6-2 bench and a couple of girls carrying bumps and bruises. You just got to get out 23 players on the pitch and hope for the best sometimes.
Thanks very much, Banners.
Cheers, thank you very much.
He's always so calm and smiley, Matt Banahan, and you feel that from him, from Dan Murphy, from Lewis Arnold, from the rest of this Gloucester Hartpury coaching ticket, and it does seem to be dripping down, filtering down into the group.
Yeah, and it's easy to say they look relaxed and smiley because
if I'm wrong, I'll be told otherwise. But for
they're
me,
winning all the time, but they will be
okay.
winning all the time in part because their management are so relaxed, so good at their jobs and relaxed. So it's chicken and egg. They all contributes.
Dan Murphy, of course, 12 from 12 himself, took the reins after Sean Lynn's departure, who headed over to become Wales's head coach. But he's been around this setup for so long, Dan Murphy, one of the originals himself, and he's really, really people first.
Quite like that hat.
Oh.
Not the branded one. I'm not bothered about the branded one. I like Murph's hat.
Got quite the wardrobe of them. So Dan Murphy, fun fact, has a wicker basket of beanie hats by his front door, and each time he leaves to go to work, he rootles around, lucky dip, picks one out.
Is that right?
Butter yellow today.
I like that.
Butterfingers from Gloucester Hartpury. Ball's been gifted back to Loughborough Lightning. Out of their 22 through a Sangapolo special. One of the youngsters to have signed an extension in recent times. They love her around here ever since her arrival from Leicester Tigers over the summer. Green has dropped that one. It looks like it might have gone backwards.
All the way back here?
Yeah, just where you were, mate.
Thank you. Sorry, I've been told there's a knock-on by Loughborough just on the 22, so it'll be a Gloucester scrum. Not clear, but it's your scrum because there's a knock-on the floor. That's what I've been told. Ross forward on the floor.
Hell of a carry this, wasn't it? Releases the ball, not held. Can get up again and do that because no one's hanging on to her. They've all backed off. May Sangapolu, fantastic carry like that. Good extra yards.
There she is. On that tight head side. 25 years old, played every game for the US Eagles at the World Cup. The ballast is there, the power, the punch, the ambition, ball in hand. But what Nathan Smith's been working on really closely with May is the set piece. And there are no greater examinations of that than what she is about to confront in Perry, Neve Jones and Cecilia Tuipulotu. And there we have it, another scrum eked from an opponent by the Gloucester Hartpury pack. Dalla Valle carrying straight. Slightly reckless offload, nutmegs Flaky George. Surprise, surprise, it's Matthews on hand to gather things, make right those wrongs.
Tackle!
We'll come back, that's been knocked on.
Tie head, lost the feet.
You could argue for taking the 3 here. You could. But there's no need. When you've got your home playoff sorted, what's the point?
Yeah, more.
You're not here to eke out a win, are you?
You need to go higher first. I'll make sure elbow's high. Thank you. You were fine on the previous 2.
The best oiled line out in the league at the moment. What do you do for Loughborough here?
Get off the floor. Just get up. You've got to get up. Sometimes you can't because there's so much choreography. There wasn't there. That was just basically 3 steps forward and up. You've got to get off the floor and try and nick that because the throw was low again. You'd have had it.
Lutui and Sangapolu get themselves back round. That maul's come down. And the referee doesn't mind it. But Vena has one person to beat. It's a flanker, and that's only going to end one way. Vena has herself a hat-trick in this scintillating round 15 clash, and Gloucester Hartpury lead for the first time in a long time.
She's all class, isn't she? Had a really, really good game, as has her opposite number, Bo Westcombe-Evans. Good bit of mauling from Gloucester Hartpury, tying in defenders. Doesn't make a huge amount of ground, but eventually it rumbles on. And you end up... Actually, what you've got in the end is Daisy Hibbert-Jones, who's had a really good game on the blind side for Lightning. Just leaving Mia Vena way too much room, leaving way too much room between her and the touchline. Too much work to do, only going to end one way. Just needed to have a little head on a swivel, have a look there defensively. Nearly.
A flurry of subs from Nathan Smith. So on is Paige Stathopoulos at hooker, Talia Brody in the back row, and Kendall Wardby as well.
I've got Matt Banahan giving the eyes down from the touchline, smiling, saying, never in doubt, mate. Yes, it was.
Yeah, time's off, don't worry.
But as you say, Flads, home semi-final secured. They will play at Queen's Hope in June as the title roars into vision. Games like this, so long as everyone leaves the field fit and healthy, they need these, they want these. They've not won it yet, mind. Although, as I say that, one of the best players on the planet cruises through the gears. Al Matthews has just gone 40 metres. She is class. Beckett will take a slightly more direct, ballistic route. Hibbert-Jones had hands on that, but it's Brock's clear out, as it so often is. Monaghan pulled down, and momentum has very much swung the way of the Cherry and Whites now. Hibbert-Jones is in pain. She stayed down. Options to the left. Hurds fend and offload, and ball knocked on.
First, then second, Loughborough scrum.
Lightning recovered, didn't they? Excellent work from Alex Matthews. Shock.
Time's off.
But actually was really enjoying a bit of build-up play there. I think Sarah Beckett's been really, really good since she came off. It was a good restart drill. We saw them fluff a couple of restarts. So it doesn't matter if that pod goes up when it goes over the top, because you've got to back up in place. And Alex Matthews is in exactly the right position to back that up. So actually the lifting pod acts as a bit of a dummy for those chasing players, which gives Alex Matthews a bit of room. She takes advantage of that. But I did enjoy Sarah Beckett. Yes, a carry up the middle, but then a couple of phases later, took the ball to the line, gave a pass, massive clear out. Yeah, she's one of the best, isn't she, Matthews?
It's a shame we don't still have Matt Banahan with us, because he speaks so beautifully about Alex Matthews.
Matt Banahan speaks beautifully.
Oh, you're nasty. Okay,
he's complimentary,
he speaks enthusiastically.
Yeah. All right.
I'll tell him you said that.
I think he knows, really.
But he is spot on. She is the best player to have never won World Player of the Year. And here is one of the other next cabs off the rank. Georgia Brock is done, so Tab Copson, wearing 21, has entered the fray. Unused last week at the Stone X, she'll be thrilled to get on in this one.
All good? No? Okay, no rush, time's off.
Tell Alev, listen, Bex, shut the fuck up. Tell Alev to go to 8 and pitch in the base of this score and just work.
Just confirm who the new captain is, and I'll just explain it to you, please.
To go to 8.
Thank you.
Did someone fucking say that?
Daisy Hibbert-Jones is leaving the field, and we really hope that that's nothing too serious, because she's got to be at Pennyhill Park on Monday morning, which she richly deserves. And speaking of richly deserved things, David Flatman, someone's going to go home with a nice Built for Athletes bag in about 20 minutes' time, and I'd love to know who you think's on that shortlist.
Oh, is that what they get? They get a bag, do they?
They get a bag.
That's all right, isn't it? Hey, got some contenders for you for player of the match.
Yeah, go on, let's have
them. Here they are. There they are. I can read them to you if you want. I think you can probably read them yourself. Don't know who's going to win the game yet. More likely to give it to a winning player, just so they're not grumpy in the interview, to be honest. She's currently on the losing side. Bo Westcombe-Evans thinks she's had a really, really good game, as has Horopo, Mia Vena, and Tatiana Hurd and Alev Kelter are not particularly original contenders, but actually they're not that original, because they tend so often to perform so well, and they've both been imperfect but not far off perfect today. Both had really influential games.
Meg Davey, on her 121st appearance for Loughborough, feeds the scrum. Kelter was at the base of that one, and look how beautifully it's worked. Nelson slaloming, the former international alpine skier, slaloming down the touchline. Rowland throwing caution to the wind and hoisting it high. It's beautiful. It's Found Ives Campion. Was it the right option? It will be if this works out. Westcombe-Evans almost away and clear. Lightning to within 6 metres. Hurd and Vena combining there to stop a certain try. Statopoulos next to truck it up. Here's Samopoulos and Ele. Ball back for Davey. Carry now from Boyd. Impact and then some from the bench. Brody. Got to score here, Lightning. 5 minutes remaining. 5 points the difference. How is this for drama? How good is the PWR? Penalty coming their way at worst. They'll leave here with points. Rowlands.
Nothing wrong there. No, guys, 21.
Big decision here.
Offside. Thank you.
But from there, it's actually an awkward little kick to the corner.
What are we doing, please?
The sort of kick that you can actually not make much ground on. It can quite easily go dead. Wrong side of the corner flag.
Time off.
Not a convenient angle.
Decision quicker, okay?
Special move,
if
I
it's
reckon.
a tap, it's got to be on the mark, which is on 5.
Hurricane, here it comes.
Time is still off. Okay, time back on. Time in, please.
Well, you called Hurricane, I called Boulder. It's Samopoulos, she's just short. Tap move came up good in the first half for Loughborough Lightning. 5 points in it, score here to level things up. It's a massive carry. Equally massive defensive shots. They've got Westcombe-Evans out wide, but it's Kelter who takes it. Got to be disciplined, got to place this. Can't be hauled over that whitewash, not if the ball is going to touch down and bring them back level.
Keep moving back, Brett.
How's your nerve, Loughborough Lightning? How's your composure in these big moments? Such a young team, such an ambitious team, and they have played with all of that ambition today. Kelter's on hand. Options wide, but they're not calling for it yet at the back. Davey just watching it. Kelter gets to work, round the corner, over the top. We are level in Northampton. The Lightning bench erots, and so too does the East Stand. Kelter is covered in blood. Maybe we'll be adding some champagne to that in 5 minutes' time.
We're level with an easy conversion. I say easy, it should be easy. This should be it, Lightning taking the lead. Actually, the pick and go wasn't really getting them anywhere. It wasn't working. Alev Kelter, of all people, it's bright. It's just bright.
Sorry.
It's clever, it's really simple when you see it like that. Or often surprises me that people don't do it more often.
The try is good.
Gloucester Hartpury just ready for the big carry. Not ready for that, not low enough. Very clever.
Nathan Smith has called Helena Rowland the best player in the world on several occasions, but this has been such a spectacular all-court 1-23 performance from Loughborough Lightning. The bench's impact. Alev Kelter, just a ball of muscle and belligerence. And they are minutes away from what would probably be the biggest result in Loughborough history. They've never beaten Gloucester Hartpury here. They've not beaten the Circus in 7 attempts.
Very, very good take that from Westcombe-Evans at the restart above the head. Don't underestimate how hard that is. Not enough pressure from Gloucester Hartpury. If you've got one winger on her own and not a lifting pod, you've got to put pressure on her taking that.
Hughes, let's go.
We've had 74 points in this one. Gloucester Hartpury haven't conceded these sorts of numbers in years in the league. George, working hard.
Thank you.
Carrying hard. Someone's lost the boot in all of that, but there are much bigger things at stake. Vena would love to have the last say in this one. She just sets off. She just glides. She just glides. Mia Vena eventually stopped, but the Circus have a winning streak. They want to defend, and they will not give it up without a fight. End to end they go, and it's Hurd. There is nothing quite like a Sunday at the Circus.
Yeah, of course. Time is off. Kicker needs a boot. Fair enough.
Are we having a look at something? Are we having a look at something here? Fabulous from Mia Vena. I noticed the referee has stopped the clock, not sure why. Beautiful gliding run from Mia Vena. She's been fantastic all day. And you just knew, of course, Tatiana Hurd was going to score that, but you just knew that Sarah Beckett was going to give the right pass at the right time. Done things very well in this second half as Beckett. Really nice score from Gloucester Hartpury. That's how you operate under pressure. Wow.
Cheers.
Big kick this to take things back out to 5 points. Claykie George will take every second allocated. She is feeling it today. The big kicks, the clutch kicks, she's come good on all of them. 30 seconds to play. 30 seconds to play in what has been one of the games of the season.
What a fantastic kick. The try we've discussed, brilliant work under pressure down the right from Gloucester Hartpury. Beautifully executed, but what a kick that was.
Okay, Hughes, please. Everyone on feet. Thank you.
The clock is against Loughborough Lightning now. Clock is red. The clock is red. And Claykie George will hoist that one from the field of play. The battlefield it has been today. Because that is absolute peerless courtesy of the three-time champions and Loughborough Lightning's fearless tyros. It's the latest full-time whistle, greeted with circus smiles, but also with sighs of relief and roars of defiance, because they had to work for that one. They had to dig deeper than they have done all season long. But they are one step closer to going undefeated. 65 out of 65 possible points for Mo Hunt and these Queen's Home heavyweights. Loughborough, well, they are all out of lives. They cannot put a foot wrong if they want knockout football for the first time since 2021. But you wouldn't put it past them to do something extraordinary in their final three matches, because they were spectacular at points today. The whole thing was 80 minutes, 81 points. How about that? It's full time here in Northampton, but Loughborough Lightning 38, Gloucester Hartpury 43. David Flatman, you're going to have to choose one. Someone gets the bag, someone gets to celebrate especially hard. Who's it going to be?
I think the match-up between Mia Vena and Bo Westcombe-Evans was always going to be fun to watch, and actually they were, as you saw, both contenders of mine for player of the match. Both could have won it, thought they had good games, but for me, that final run was what clinched it for Mia Vena. Although she was already in my mind, I think she had a really good game. I know she made a mistake in the first half and got into a bit of trouble, but she defended hard when she could. Her positioning was good, but overall in attack she was very, very difficult to deal with. Thought she was fabulous. She is Mia Vena is our player of the match.
What a fixture we have just been treated to. Thank you so much for joining us. So many changes of lead, so much drama, the 2 yellow cards, tries by the bucket load, but ultimately it finishes. Loughborough Lightning 38, the champions Gloucester Hartpury 43.